Hello, everybody. This is Zero to Hero, where everyday Canadians are getting ahead with real estate. This is the show where we dive into the success stories of several real-world investors. We dive into the strategies that help take their business to the next level. You get to know the who, learn the how to get what you need to succeed. My name is Daniel Blagrove, and today I am chatting with the amazing Cali Braithwaite. Listen, he is a family man, real estate entrepreneur who is able to provide wealth for his family and friends through his real estate deals across Canada. See, Cali's goal is to create more wealth for his family and friends. Even if they went on their own, they couldn't do it as good as doing it with him. And so, Cali, how are you doing today?
I am ecstatic. I'm doing really well, man. Thanks for the warm greeting, the colorful greeting. I couldn't have done it better myself, so I really appreciate it, Daniel. How are you doing?
The pleasure is mine. I'm doing amazing because I'm about to shoot you 10 questions so we can give our audience a sneak peek into who Cali is, where he came from, what's he doing now, and what's he doing in the future. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Come on, man. All right, let's get it going. Cali, talk to us real quick. Why did you get into real estate in the first place?
So that's a good question. I got into real estate because, for one, it's one of the necessities, right? You know, you have your food, your shelter, your clothing, right? And with the power of leverage, I realized that with a very small amount of money, I could make a lot more off of that small amount with the power of leverage. Do you want me to give you an example?
Give us an example.
Okay. All right. So way back when I first bought my first income property was about 11 years ago. And real quick, I only needed 5% down. So for simple numbers, let's say this property cost $100,000. So I only had to come up with $5,000, right? The property increased in value over, let's call 5 years. The property value went up to $125,000. Okay. So on my $5,000, I was able to make $25,000 in profit, where anything else that I know, I would have to have $100,000 to make that $25,000. So in theory, I could do, multiple of these transactions with $5,000 and get $25,000 on each over 3 to 5 years. So when I found that out, I was like, man, I got to do more. Like, you know what I mean? Where do I sign up?
Man, I'm telling you, when I understood the power of leverage, it really changed the game for me, as I know it has for you. But Cali, I know you didn't always know this. We didn't just come out the womb knowing all this stuff about leverage. So tell us about what you were doing before you got into real estate investing.
Great question, man. I think I'm going to keep saying that after each question. Great question, because these are really good questions. I was actually a mortgage specialist. So I had a lot of jobs, but the one job before I bought my first income property, I was working as a mortgage specialist for a financial institution. So I was already, warmed up to dealing with, mortgages, personal finance. And yeah, I just was dialed in and saw the opportunity and just saved up my money and knew that, hey, one day I'm going to be able to do what, I'm telling other people to do.
Wow, that's actually really cool. The fact that you were, even before getting into real estate, you have this skill or this asset that can be of expertise for you so you can move forward faster, better than others. And that's one thing I would actually encourage everybody listening. Understand that your experiences absolutely give you an opportunity to move forward in one way or another. You just got to take an assessment of yourself and your experiences and figure out what skill sets would be applicable to your situation now, being into real estate and getting to invest in your first, second, or third or more type property. It's awesome. All right, Cali, tell us something that people don't know about you. What is something that most people want to know?
So my friends and family know me really well. So I would have to go with like people who aren't friends and family. I haven't found a sport that I don't enjoy. So I consider myself very athletic. I mean, the jury's out on whether or not poker's a sport, but I mean, anything that, I got to put shorts on and a t-shirt and run around. I mean, I haven't found a sport yet that I don't like playing. So I consider myself an active person who is competitive and likes playing sports.
That's awesome. I actually just this past weekend went on a driving range with a couple of buddies to for some golfing, and it was my first time doing it. And I had to say, it actually is a lot more fun doing it than watching it. I'm not a huge golf guy, but doing it was pretty cool. It's one of the best feelings when you just hit that ball and it's just gone. Oh, one of the best feelings ever. That's awesome. I love that. All right. So tell me, now that you're into real estate, right? You're doing deals, right? You've been doing deals for over a decade now. Talk to me about a deal or a mistake, a disaster or something that went wrong that you wouldn't want to ever do again. And even your closest loved one, you wouldn't want them going through.
Yeah, so a few years back, I again not as experienced as I am now, but I learned from that experience, and that's the whole point. I had a deal where, just based off the experience I had till then, I thought that every lender, so like a mortgage lender, would automatically renew the mortgage regardless, right? And I had this project. It was a rental property I owned, and it was with like a B lender. And that particular that entity of their company was not going to continue doing business. So it had nothing to do with like my repayment history or my relationship with them. They just weren't renewing those products anymore. And I thought to myself, oh, well, they have to renew me. I'm already in, like they always do this. And they sent me a letter saying, hey, we're not going to be renewing you, and you have to look for look for some alternatives. And I was like, oh yeah. And then they sent the letter like, hey, if we haven't heard from you, we're going to be changing the locks and going into, power of sale foreclosure. You don't do. I'm like, what? So then I had to get a very expensive private loan in a short period of time. So that was a really, eye-opening experience for me, and a lesson that I wouldn't want anyone else to go through. Thankfully, I bought the property really well, and the value went up. It appreciated over time enough that, I still won, but I didn't win as much as I could have won if I didn't have to pay that expensive private for the expensive private money in short notice.
Man, you make a great point about mistakes, man. They're always learning opportunities. It's an opportunity for us to get better, grow stronger, be wiser. And man, that's a really good story. Really hope everybody's listening to this. So Cali, look, man, everybody's trying to get to their goals. All right. We're all into investing in real estate, but 99.9% of us are not in for the brick and mortar. Nobody really cares about real estate like that. We care about what real estate can provide for us. And see, some of us want to get there faster than others. Some people don't want to have to go through doing it yourself, rather just get the answers. And for you, Cali, your way of doing that was joining council. So talk to us about why you joined council and what has been the biggest thing that doing this has been able to provide for you.
Yeah. So joining council for me, I needed something more. Like what I was doing up until 2020 when I joined council, it was good, but I felt like there was a greatness out there that I needed to kind of be exposed to. And joining council for me, not only the impact of having a network, which I was missing out because I was like a one-man show doing everything on my own. So there was a couple of things. There was having access to a network of investors who were ready to take action, and the ability to propel me and my business from where it was then before I joined to where it is today, which is leaps and bounds.
Man, leaps and bounds is the key. It really just comes down to, how do I accelerate my growth? How do I get there faster? How do I compress time and be able to generate results? Because I'm moving with those who have already done it. I don't need to have to do it myself and thus make the mistakes and learn from it. Just learn from the mistakes of others and generate the results that you desire. That's phenomenal. So now that you've been able to do that, give me a breakdown of your favorite deal, the mountaintop experience in real estate thus far for yourself.
Okay. So it's a few years ago, about 4 years ago, it was my very first joint venture. And I found a property similar to some of the properties that I already invested in. So I had a lot of confidence in this particular market. It was in Oshawa. It was a stacked townhouse for $170,000. What I did is I already had enough experience to like attract, someone else to invest with me, right? Because they've seen what I've been doing. There's like, hey, you bought at this and now it's worth at that. How do we get involved, right? And I gave them an opportunity, which for me, it helped me as well. I was able to qualify for the mortgage. They had invested $60,000, which covered the down payment. It covered the renovations that I was going to manage. And then it also left us with a reserve so that, we have a few months to find tenants, or if we had a tenant who decided not to pay, we had that cushion there, right? Fast forward. So I managed the property, I managed the renovations, I managed the tenants. I did everything on my own. The investor just came with the capital. So fast forward 4 years, they decided, hey, I think it's time to sell. Our plan was a 3 to 5 year term. So at year 4, the market was going up. We decided to sell. We walked away. I put on their 60,000, they pretty much made another 45,000 on their 60,000 within the 4 year period.
Wow.
So for me, that was really exciting because, again, I wanted to do for them what they couldn't do for themselves, right? And by doing that, it gave me confidence that I could do it for more people, right? So what was even better about that is that they wanted to reinvest with me on another project. So that deal there was I think my favorite deal.
Wow. Like the fact that you were able to over deliver, right? Because I don't know about you, but were you telling them that, hey, you can expect an additional 40,000 on top of your 60?
No way.
Now, but the fact that you're able to deliver that, it keeps your investors happy. And what are the chances now that after having done that deal, not does it only instill confidence and now want to do it again because you've gotten that proof of concept, you're a capable executor of the deal, and anytime a real deal comes again and you're the one on top of it, man, my money's going to you, right? That's really, really amazing. So Cali, now that you've done many deals and you've done you've done a good job of helping people use their money and work their money in a better way than they could have, whether it's putting in RSP or TFSA or whatever investment vehicle you want to name. Talk to us about how you would have done things differently with what you know today in 2021, the Cali that has all this knowledge and information, getting mentored and stuff. Go back to where you first started over a decade ago with the resources that you had a decade ago. With what you know now, what would you do differently?
First thing I would have done is found a network of other investors to kind of tap into, just be a fly on the wall, listen to the conversations, listen to what is working for the people that are successful in this area, and try to find somebody to mentor me, right? Try to find someone to take me under their wing, to say, hey, look, you know what? I was there at one time and now you're there. I wish someone was there for me, or someone was there for me. So I'm just going to continue this and kind of give you that opportunity that someone gave me or someone didn't give me that I wish they did, right? And I think for me, that would be a big one. Most importantly, though, I would have the confidence to take action sooner and get people involved, like joint ventures, right? So instead of waiting for 6 years in to get my first joint venture, I would really push to share other people's wins. So borrow their success to say, look, this is how it works. Let's try this today. Let's not wait until I do it to prove that it works. Let's look around. These people here, you can meet them, you can talk to them. These are real people that are doing it. Why don't we try this earlier on?
That's a great perspective. And you know what? The reason why I ask that is it's always good for people who are in a beginner position, how they can start differently today, even though they don't have your experience, but just to lend that kind of mindset and that attitude with what you know now. But even though you can't change the past, let's move to the future because we definitely can create that. Talk to me in the year 2026, 5 years from now. Where is Cali?
I might be right here, man. I might be right here, but my plan is to definitely impact others, right? So I think the goal with me and what I want to be able to, how I want to impact is to be in a position where, I have shared my experience with someone else or other people to the point where they've taken action or taken the advice or counsel that I've given, to the point now that they can start to do that for somebody else, right? So just to kind of keep that ball rolling is for me huge. It's the impact. As far as a financial, where I want to be, I would like to, obviously they say every 7 years you should double your net worth. So I'm going to continue to work on that, and that's the goal.
That's awesome. You work with intention and with clarity. You put yourself in the best position to do that. Now, Cali, there are going to be people who are just beginning their journey, and they're listening to you and they're inspired. They're encouraged because they've heard some of the mistakes, they've seen the victories, and they see that you're still going. So they must determine it must be worth it. So with them being beginners and wanting to start out on their own journey, give us 3 practical things that they can take away and start doing this week.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was kind of answered in a couple previous questions. I would just repeat that is, get around the people that are doing what you want to do. So whatever it is that you want to do, find someone who's doing it successfully and get around them. If you have to pay to get around them, pay to get around them within your budget, right? Know your limit and stay within it. I think definitely, don't be what Mark Smith says, don't be an ask hole. Okay? So if you're going to ask for advice, ask for counsel, be prepared to take the action. Otherwise, people lose confidence in you and they don't want to give what is so sacred and valuable. They don't want to spend their time, giving it to somebody who's not going to use it. Right. And I've been guilty of that, even till today. Sometimes I'm guilty of that, but it's something I'm cognizant of. And I really make an effort to take that action. Right. So something like that, I would say definitely keep those things in mind.
Absolutely. Now, Cali, as we round things out here, people may want to get in contact with you and want to continue this conversation. How can people connect with you?
You can find me on Facebook, Cali Braithwaite. Just shoot me a message, send me a friend request. Instagram at Grow with Cali. It's all about growth. I think those are the 2 best ways to get in contact with me. You can send me an email, growwithcali@gmail.com.
Cali, thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to future growth, more deals, more abundance, and more success happening your way. But until next time, tune in for the next episode, and we'll catch you right here.
Thanks for having me, man.
This has been Zero to Hero. I hope you took something out of it. Be sure to take action so that you can get results, just like our guest that you've listened to today. Stay tuned for the next episodes, and we'll see you on the next one.